Here is chapter 3 of my fanfic, The Cursed Brothers. This title is called The Quiet That Breaks. It's sadder. Okay, this is like an Angus fanfic. Still in Derry's POV. The front door barely clicked shut before Ponyboy broke. He didn't say a word, didn't look at me. He just dropped his books by the door like they weighed 100 pounds, and crossed the living room in 3 quick steps, straight into SodaPop's arms. Soda barely had time to turn before Ponyboy curled into him, face buried against Soda's chest, fingers clutching the back of his jacket like he was afraid Soda might disappear if he let go. The sound that came out of him, God, I'll never forget it, was small and cracked and so full of hurt it made my chest ache. Tears soaked straight through Soda's shirt. Soda's arms wrapped around him instantly, firm and sure, like muscle memory. Hey, he murmured, rocking slightly. I got you, Pony. Ponyboy shook his head over and over, words tangled and muffled. His shoulders hitched as sobs tore out of him, raw and unchecked. The kind of crying that only happens when you've been holding it in too long. I stood there by the door, useless for a second, watching my little brother come undone in Soda's arms. I had seen Ponyboy cry before. After Mom and Dad. After nightmares. After bad days. But this was different. This was exhaustion. This was a kid who didn't know how to exist without getting hurt for it. Soda rubbed slow circles into Ponyboy's back, murmuring nonsense the way he always did when one of us fell apart. You're okay. You're home. Ain't nobody mad. You're safe. Ponyboy clung tighter. I tried. Ponyboy checked out. I really tried this time. So swallowed hard. I know you did. I finally moved, setting my jacket down, my boots heavy on the floor. I didn't interrupt. I didn't rush it. I'd learned. Sometimes the worst thing you can do is try to stop the crowd before it finishes saying what it needs to say. So I guided him to the couch and sat down, Pony curling sideways into his lap like he used to when he was little. So I leaned back against the cushions, one arm around Ponyboy's shoulders, the other bracing him steady. Ponyboy pressed his face into Soda's neck, breath coming in broken gasps. Every time I open my mouth, I mess it up. And when I don't talk, they think something's wrong with me. I don't know what they want from me. So I kissed the top of his head, right in his hairline. They want a lot of things I don't get to have. I sat in the armchair across from them, elbows on my knees, hands clasped so tight my knuckles went white. You don't gotta be anything for them, Soda went on gently. You just gotta be Ponyboy. Pony laughed weakly through tears. That's the problem. That one hit me square in the chest. I leaned forward. No, I said firm but quiet. That's never been the problem. Ponyboy didn't look at me. He couldn't. His fingers twisted into Soda's shirt like an anchor. I'm tired, Derry, he whispered. I'm tired of thinking all the time. I'm tired of watching what I say. Tired of being smart and stupid at the same time. So I let out a shaky breath. Yeah, he said softly. I get that. I rubbed my face, the words stacking up in my throat until they hurt. You don't gotta carry this alone, I said. You never did. If school is messing with your head, then we'll deal with it. Together. Ponyboy shook his head slightly. I don't want to be a problem. Soda pulled back just enough to look at him, hands firm on Ponyboy's shoulders. You are not a problem, he said, voice tight now. You're my little brother. Problems don't cry like this. Ponyboy's face crumbled all over again. So I pulled him back in, holding him close as Ponyboy cried harder. Quieter now, but deeper, like it was coming from somewhere way down in his chest. I could see Soda's eyes glisten. His jaw clenched as he kept it together for both of them. I stood and crossed the room, sitting on the edge of the coffee table. Pony? I said softly. He didn't answer, but I knew he was listening. You ain't gotta figure everything out right now, I said. You're allowed to be confused. You're allowed to mess up. Hell, you're allowed to have days where all you do is survive. His breathing slowly began to steady. We'll talk about school, I went on. We'll figure out a way for you to breathe again in that classroom. But you don't get to disappear on us. Not here. Soda nodded. Especially not here. Ponyboy sniffled, wiping his face against Soda's sleeve like he had 1,000 times before. I'm sorry. For what? Soda asked. For being like this. I felt something snap then. Not anger. Not frustration. Phil. I'm sorry. I was doing so good till... I'm sorry. Anyway. I felt something snap then. Not anger. Not frustration. Fear. I reached out and rested my hand on Ponyboy's back. Don't ever apologize for hurting. I said, that's the one thing you never have to be sorry for in this house. He went still under my hand, then leaned back just enough to glance at me. Eyes red and swollen. You promise? He asked quietly. I nodded. I swear it. Soda smiled at him, tired but warm. We got you, kid. Always. Ponyboy exhaled, long and shaky, and finally let himself relax. His weight sinking full into Soda's chest, his eyes fluttered shut, exhaustion pulling him under now that the worst of it had passed. Soda stayed perfectly still, afraid to move. I watched my two brothers on that couch, one holding, one being held, and felt that familiar ache in my chest. We were doing the best we could. Some days that had to be enough.